Hi everyone. So I did say I would make a video of my last trip, my last vacation to Asia. I went to Hong Kong and mainland China. So I decided to make this video to just give tips to anybody wanting to go there so that they can learn a thing or two that will help make their journey easier, because that's what I did you know um before I left. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, my name is Uju, and I like history, I like sightseeing, I like traveling. So for my vacation last year, usually when it's cold, I reside in the UK. So during the winter seasons, I like going to another country, if possible, a warmer country. So I chose to go to China for 2023 Christmas vacation with my children because number one, China has a lot of culture, is in my bucket list of places to go to. And also, I had a sibling of mine that also wanted to travel. In fact, it was his idea to go there initially. And then he later said that, he wasn't going to be able to make it. So I said, okay, no problem. China is, part of the places that I want to see. I want to see the Great Wall of China. I want to see, I want to take my kids to Disneyland Hong Kong. So I'll go anyway. It's not a problem. So Hong Kong for British nationals is visa free. So you don't need a visa. But if you want to go into mainland China, you do need a visa. So we had to go get visas because we're going to mainland China. It's possible for you to get a visa while in Hong Kong, but I didn't want to risk that because, of course, I'm on vacation. I'm there for sightseeing. I don't want, if I'm there, I'll have to start, tasking myself about visa to another country. Taking up useful time for me to enjoy my vacation. So I got my visas ready. And luckily, where we live in the UK, Manchester, we have the Chinese embassy here. So I tried filling their form online, um, encountered a lot of challenges, and eventually decided to walk in um, and tell them, and explain the challenges that I was encountering on their website. By the time I went to their embassy, I now found that I was a walk-in embassy. So I didn't even need to apply online. You walk in and then you can do the form there. And actually, after trying to submit the form severally and they didn't go through, I now you know felt it was best to go in because I remembered my own embassy in London, Nigerian embassy. When you go there, sometimes in the past there used to be like a computer room downstairs to help people fill their forms. So that I just said, oh, maybe they'll have something similar like that. Let me go in, and behold, it was a good decision I made. I went in, and she told me that I didn't need to um I didn't need to fill the form online. I could just walk in, people walk in. So yeah, everything was speedy. Because I had done a lot online already, it was fast for me. So I submitted my documents. They gave me like a date to collect, which wasn't long at all. So whether it was a week or 2 weeks, it was not long at all. So I now went on the collection date and the visas were ready. So with the visa ready, I now knew that the travel was now secured. But before the visa, when you're applying for the visa, you're required to book your tickets and accommodation. So I already did that. So for me, going to two places, Hong Kong, I booked a separate accommodation for Hong Kong and a separate accommodation for Beijing as required for the visa. Well, the Hong Kong part is not required. Everything is Beijing, but I did everything, once. So for Hong Kong, I got a lovely hotel, 4 Points by Sheraton. It's on Lantau Island. And then for Beijing, we stayed at Holiday Inn, in Beijing. So, and then our airline was Air France. So there was a stopover. So from Manchester to Paris and Paris to Hong Kong. That was what we did. But on our way back home, it was straight Beijing to Paris, and then Paris to Manchester. Okay. So when we now got our visas, I started planning my vacation. So, of course, Disneyland is, number one, for me, for my children to experience. So, that was number one thing that I planned doing. And then I planned also to do the peak tram. So all these things to do were things that I saw while researching online on things to do in China, things to do in Hong Kong, and tips. I always like to do research so that I'll learn from other people's experience. It will make my journey smoother. So I had a list of places to see, but of course we did not um, do all the things that I planned doing, because when you go on vacation, sometimes you just want to stay in your hotel and rest. So it's not every day that you want to step out, and especially if you have a lovely hotel and a lovely surrounding. So, okay, so we got our visas. I carried on with my research, saw the food tours in Hong Kong, the lovely things for people, the lovely food that people could eat in Hong Kong and in Beijing. So I said, okay, I also like tasty food from different cultures. I'm not that um, I'm not that brave, but I do like seafood. So things like squid, and just shrimps, the not the very serious ones. So I like the more popular, the more common seafood, shrimp, crab, prawns, things like that. So I've tasted octopus too. So so we started planning. We got our stuff ready, and on the set day, um, we left for our journey. So when the kids closed for vacation, we were set to go. So our journey, we packed our bags in two ways because of the two weathers of the places we were going. So Hong Kong is a warmer weather. So for Hong Kong, when I googled it, it was around 20 degrees. So will I say it's a little bit like September, October weather in the UK. So something like a warm, like this, what I'm wearing now will be okay for Hong Kong. Like a warm jumper and jeans is fine. And no rain, so that's okay. But Beijing, is proper winter. It's around the time that we went -2, -3, -4, but dry, no rain and no snow. There was snow around, but the days I stayed there, it didn't snow on me, but you could see snow that had snowed before we came. Okay, so back to our journey. So we left excited and all, and first of all, we took the Air France to Paris, and then it was just a 2 hours flight. So I wasn't even expecting anything, but they served us sandwich and a fizzy drink, okay, which was okay. And then when we reached Paris, it was rush, 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 rush because Manchester, we were delayed. So the flight was almost ready to go in Paris, but because a lot of people, were coming in with the connection flight, they had to wait because putting all those number of people in a hotel for the next flight to Hong Kong would have been so expensive for Air France. So they had to wait. So they waited. It was rush, rush, run, run, run. We entered and then took off to Hong Kong, which was a 10-hour flight. So, but it was smooth, we were served food twice, which was okay. We had television, the movies to watch. We had a screen. We had charging points, but of course, you're not able to use your phone during takeoff or charging during takeoff. And another thing that I have to mention is if you have the new charging cable for iPhone, it's not going to fit in. It's not all airlines that have that charging point. So I wasn't able to use my charging cable because it's the new one. But when we were flying back, I made sure I used the old kind of um, iPhone cable. So we watched movies. Which movie did I even watch? It was House of Gucci by Lady Gaga. And I've forgotten the other movie that I watched. So I tried to sleep some of the time, sleeping in the plane. Well, for me, sleeping on anything that is not a bed is not really, you know, comfortable. And even sleeping on beds that are not mine, it's not the same as well. So I tried to get a few hours of sleep as much as we could. The kids slept very well. In fact, my first slept very well. So when we reached Hong Kong, thank God for Johnny Mercy's. We proceeded out and our bags were delayed. So because of, that delay in Paris, our bags couldn't be added um, early enough for the plane to take off. So it wasn't just us, there was a long line of bags being delayed. And I remembered I've had this problem with Air France before going back to Nigeria. So, but of course, you can make claims, for 1 or 2 days, but it's inconveniencing who wants their things, their bags delayed. Because I remember that Nigerian one. I got things because I came down for a burial. The things that I brought down for the burial, we weren't able to use them. So we had to buy things again. So it was very inconveniencing. So anyway, we queued for the bag. Filled the form. They now told us that Hong Kong flights from Air France come every day, so it will come the next day, and this was the 23rd. So, but it will come at night. So, getting someone to deliver it will not might not be possible until the 25th. So, they gave two choices. It's either you come back to the hotel you come back to the airport to collect your bags or you wait for delivery on the 25th. So I just chose delivery, even though our hotel had an airport shuttle. But I just said, if because we planned on the 24th to go to Disneyland. So I said, on the 24th, we're out and about anyway. So on the 25th, we'll be resting. If they can bring it to us, then that's fine. So, um, so that's what happened. We left. And then from the description of where the hotel coach will be, I now proceeded there. So we still had to be asking while there, are we in the right place? Some people knew how to speak English, some people did not. But, I made sure that I got the information that I wanted so as not to miss the the bus, because I think that was the last bus for the day, the last trip, or the second to the last trip. So I didn't want to miss it. So we stood there and waited a few minutes. It was quite a bit of wait. Um, Before, I think the bus was like 5 minutes late, and but we had already come out when the last bus had left, so it was a bit of wait for us, but the bus itself was just delayed by 5 minutes, I think. So immediately came, we all went in, and then we didn't have bags, so nothing to, we just went in by ourselves, and it took us to our hotel. We're so tired. And then, went in, checked in, everything was smooth, told them that we're still expecting our bags. They were very, sympathetic to our plight, and, told us all the services that we could get. The reception was, very good and very friendly, very efficient, willing to help. So told us about breakfast. So that particular um, Sheraton, kids eat free, kids below 12. So I was lucky that I could get my kids in for that. Very beautiful breakfast, large buffet and a lot of options. So, but I wasn't sure of our wakes and um, where we were going, how soon we were leaving. So I just told them that I don't want to book for now, but let me see how things go. Because, of course, I knew we were going to Disneyland the next day, and Disneyland, I already planned that we'll try their Mickey Mouse waffles. So, so I knew no breakfast for us. So anyway, so we went straight to our room. The hotel decoration, the way I like it, white and bright and airy. So it's a very big hotel. Went to our room, clean, white sheets, everything white. I do like bright rooms, and beautiful view from the outside. There's a beach close to the hotel, but we didn't have the opportunity to go. To tell you how jam-packed our sightseeing was, so many places to see. We didn't even remember the beach in our backyard. So we went so tired. So we just had our shower and went straight to bed. And then, the next day I went to get a SIM card. So luckily, just opposite that hotel is a row of shops which you can get a SIM card in one of those shops. They call it, I think, 7-Eleven or something like that. But it's like one of these news agents in the UK. So went there, got my SIM card, came back, was having a little bit of problem loading it up from their direction. So I went down and told one of the reception, and because the reception, they have one side for checking in guests and the other side for the concierge. So, she was so nice. She loaded it up for me and it started working. And that hotel has shuttle that goes up to the mall and back. So so I just told her that we planned, I've already bought the tickets to Disneyland. I don't have my bags with me. I want to buy a few things. Where do you think I can just get some things to wear today and go? So she said, okay, that I can take the shuttle to the main mall and get some things there. So okay, this was maybe before 12. I said, okay, if we can do what we have to do and leave for Disneyland a little bit like 12:01, that is still okay because, of course, we'll stay there for the whole day. So I now went to the mall, took the shuttle, like you said. So the shuttle moves once every hour from that hotel. So I now went to the mall, and oh my God, to my surprise, there were no like non-designer shops. All the shops there on that in that mall are all designers on that island. All designer brands. Gucci, Polo, Ralph Lauren, all of them. So I said, no, this is not, my plan. I just want to buy something without a brand and then, go my way. I've already packed, well for this trip, what I like, what I know will suit my trip. And yeah, it wasn't really my plan to start to start buying any expensive thing. So I now went to one of the, malls sometimes have receptions like guides as well. So I now went to the girl there and asked that, do you have any shop that is not a brand, a designer brand, a non-brand shop, just normal shop that I can buy, things. She told me no, not in this mall. Oh my God. So she now said, okay, 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 that she remembers, but that it's quite a walk from here. Well, I just looked at myself. I said, well, I've bought my SIM card. I know my way around and I I can always ask for directions. And, when I was doing my research before traveling, I learned that China is one of the safest places in the world. So I said, okay, no problem. I have my Google Maps, and yeah, let me go because we need to change. So the thing that stuck to my mind was when she said, is across the bridge, like a leg bridge, and I know I saw that bridge when I was coming. So I said, okay, let me walk across there and you know um get some clothes, and I'm even running late. Let me go back, get the children dressed, and then we can go. So I went across there. At first glance, I wasn't even seeing any like clothes shop. The one I saw was like a boutique. It wasn't like big brands, but you know how a boutique is. There aren't many options. So I just said, let me see if there's another shop. Luckily for me, there was just a pop-up shop. Pop-up shops, they are not permanent. These are maybe people that want to hustle for um a few dollars and they have a permit and you're not even sure they'll be there the next day. So I saw that she had lovely woolly jumpers, lovely ones. So I said, okay, I asked her the price and it was a good price. I think it was 100 and something Hong Kong dollars, which came out to be about £15 or thereabout. not up to 20 pounds. So I said, okay, this is good. So I got that for myself. And then I was asking them for socks, do they have socks as well? And I was also getting my receipts because I knew I would want to claim this back from my friends. So I was now, do you have socks? So they said that they pointed to me that shop behind, the first one that I left, that they have a lot of socks. So I went back in there, got, fresh pairs of socks. And then I just asked them, do you have anything for boys? Because that pop-up shop did not. So they said, yeah, they pointed to me and I saw like two decent things I got for my boys. I said, okay, this is it. Just got it, ran back to the stop where the shuttle was meant to pick me. And I was just like 2 minutes early. I didn't wait there up to 2 minutes. The shuttle came, so I would have just missed it like that. So it now took me back to the hotel, got the boys dressed, and we went to Disneyland. So I had already checked the distance from our hotel to Disneyland. Taking public transport will be like an hour 30 minutes, but taking a taxi would have been 20 minutes. And of course, the taxi price wasn't that much. The taxi price came out to be about 20 pounds or so. It wasn't much at all. So I said, no, let's take taxi. It's the three of us. So let's go. So, I mean, three people in a taxi, if you divide it like that, one person is not up to £10 for a 25 minutes journey, 25 minutes, 30 minutes journey. So that's okay. So I went to Disneyland, had a great time, and saw all their shows. And the boys had a good time, had a river cruise inside Disney, you know, had a real great time, ate this fat turkey leg, and all the things with Disney inscription. I mean, food also have Disney characters on them, and some rides were very scary for me, honestly. And after that, I just told the boys that I'll never do anything like that again. So after all that, we now came back home. Yeah.